Thank you for following New Crypto Coin. I want to bring this news to you guys. Coinbase, we are, first of all, New Crypto Coin. We're on Twitter at New Crypto Coin. We're on Instagram at New Crypto Coin. And we're on YouTube at New Crypto Coin. You can find our videos on YouTube. Thank you for watching us there. Thank you for supporting this channel. We want to just jump on right into it. Coinbase is building a cryptocurrency empire. And I was reading this article and I thought I had to share this with you guys because here's Coinbase on Washington Post text, the business section, getting a mainstream article. And as you can see, this pictures of Coinbase CEO Brian Armstrong. And I'm just want to share some of the things I read in this article with you guys about the growth of Coinbase in 1 year. Since its founding by a former Airbnb engineer in 2012, Coinbase has been growing at a rate rivaling much better known startups. It manages more than 20 million accounts, almost as many as Fidelity Investments, twice as many as Charles Schwab, and about as many accounts as Vanguard has investors. Coinbase, however, is a much stronger player in terms of assets under management. It stores about 20 billion worth of virtual currencies compared to the nearly 7 trillion in assets held by Fidelity. Coinbase has expanded its services too. The company has an appetite for talent grown. It has hired former executives from Twitter and TD Ameritrade. It announced 2 splashy corporate acquisitions in April, and what was a staff of about 100 people a year ago has ballooned to 300, with plans to add 450 in the next year. That's not counting support contractors who number more than 1,000. On top of existing satellite offices in New York and London, Coinbase is looking to open others this year in North America, Europe, and Asia. So I want to let you guys know that Coinbase is slowly building a cryptocurrency empire. They're definitely the most known, user-friendly cryptocurrency brokerage out there. Customers who sign up with Coinbase must feel assured that their online wallets will not be hacked. To minimize the risk of a catastrophic data breach, Coinbase stores roughly 99% of its customers' funds in formats that are not connected to the internet. The remaining 1%, the liquid funds that Coinbase uses to carry out trades, comes from the company's reserves, so that customers' funds are never directly connected to the marketplace. That 1% is privately insured by Lloyd's of London, offering another layer of protection. Meanwhile, Coinbase must overcome the widely held perception that cryptocurrency itself is a scam. The blockchain is real. JP Morgan is so confident in blockchain potential that it's quietly developing products making use of the technology. Blockchain is technology that allows people or companies, without necessarily trusting one another, to instantly and irrevocably record their transactions on the public ledger. Faith in the ledger is maintained by thousands of computers worldwide that collectively police the system for forgeries and other types of fraud. Real-world applications of blockchain are still limited, but the technology has been proposed as a way to automate and streamline activities, including home buying and intellectual property protection. Individual cryptocurrencies operate on top of blockchains, often as a way to transfer information or represent items of value. And I think what is important is that Coinbase wants to be more corporate. You got to take that in mind. And for them to become like Fidelity or Vanguard, they're going to have to be regulatory compliant. And I think one of the key statements in this whole article was from Brian Armstrong here. He says the idea of being compliant and trusted is not really a popular stance in the crypto community. Early crypto people especially were like, you're destroying crypto. So there's anti-Coinbase people out there. But I really believe that if we're going to shepherd this, technology to a mainstream audience, we need to do it in a compliant way. And that's what, I think people have to understand, that Coinbase is going to build a compliant empire, regulatory, so that what they really want, to a much greater degree, Armstrong says, so will accredited and institutional investors, many of whom are sophisticated enough to take on more risk, they want to enter, and they might be entering through Coinbase Pro, which is the thing that Coinbase is building. And another thing I want to say, Coinbase buys Pardex in a push to expand crypto coin offerings. If you don't know what Pardex is, Pardex is a platform to trade Ethereum-based coins. Pardex is a startup with around 10 employees in New York, Chicago, and San Francisco that enables peer-to-peer trading of so-called ERC-20 tokens that are based on the Ethereum blockchain. Coinbase did not disclose the terms of the transaction, which was announced in a statement on Wednesday. The move marks the first step in an expansion for San Francisco-based Coinbase beyond trading Bitcoin, Bitcoin Cash, Ether, and Litecoin. It has functioned as the middleman in transactions of these coins and kept custody of the underlying digital tokens. Trading over Pardex will link customers directly with one another outside of Coinbase Exchange. Coinbase is still working out whether and how it will implement a fee structure. At no point does Coinbase touch that asset. It goes straight to the other party. It's completely disintermediating the central exchange. For customers, the peer-to-peer transactions may mitigate some of the security risks associated with holding funds at centralized exchanges, which can be vulnerable to large-scale attacks by hackers or thieves. At the same time, the burden of keeping the token safe may shift to the individual, something Pardex warns on its website. Pardex will not be responsible for any losses of any kind whatsoever. Coinbase plans to offer the service to U.S. investors, but says it will have to make some changes for compliance purposes. Coinbase customers have begun urging the exchange to add more coins, but it has held off due to lack of regulatory clarity around which tokens are securities. It claims that none of the four it currently offers fit that bill. The Pardex deal may allow the firm to satisfy customer demand to trade ERC-20 tokens while sidestepping a regulatory headache since the exchange never takes possession of the tokens. Coinbase has said it holds more than $20 billion in digital assets. The firm also announced that it is rebranding GDAX, its trading platform that was originally meant for institutional investors but became a go-to crypto marketplace for individuals. GDAX will be renamed Coinbase Pro at the end of June and have a redesign with simpler user experience. When we launched GDAX 3 years ago, we envisioned a product that would help institutions enter the crypto space, the firm said. Coinbase Pro is the evolution of GDAX, specifically designed for individual crypto traders. This company has made an effort recently to distinguish between the trading services it offers to beginner traders and those more catered to more experienced investors, announcing earlier this month that it was debuting a new suite of institutional products. So, Coinbase has always been going after Wall Street with new tools for investors, and that's not surprising at all. And that is true. For the big money to actually come into crypto, it's going to have to come from Wall Street. If you want to see Bitcoin
and options trade,
you want to see Bitcoin at 20,000 again, you need institutional money. So Coinbase is focused on services such as Coinbase Prime, which will offer lending, margin financer, and over-the-counter trading. So Coinbase is also doing, let's read this here. So the San Francisco-based company is developing several tools to alert institutional investors onto its platform. They include custodial services where investors can store a large amount of digital currency, as well as enhanced trading capabilities such as risk management and margin trading, which allow customers to borrow money. While some of the products will be available to everyone, most are focused on institutional clients. One such service called Coinbase Prime will offer lending, margin financing, and over-the-counter trading. The custody question, how to securely hold digital coins in the era of rampant hacking, has bedeviled money managers ever since cryptocurrencies emerged as an asset class. Coinbase began outlining efforts to provide a solution in November. Coinbase now tells Bloomberg it is forging a partnership with the Electronic Transaction Clearing Committee, a so-called qualified custodian for securities designed by the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission. The regulator requires a large investment advisors to keep customers' assets at qualified custodians to protect clients from theft or loss. Banks and broker-dealers are common examples of such safe houses for securities. However, authorities haven't officially offered clear rules around what it means to have custody of crypto assets. Coinbase's new partner, Electronic Transaction Clearing, settled with the SEC in March over an alleged violation of consumer protection requirements, was fined $80,000. While Coinbase has said it doesn't consider tokens on its exchanges to be securities, the regulatory view on that is hazy. The lack of clarity from financial watchdogs could explain why Coinbase hasn't attracted big names to its custody product. The company said it's holding more than $20 billion in digital assets, and custodial services will be available to investors with at least $10 million in deposits. Just 3 years ago, Coinbase was working at a one-bedroom apartment, and the startup struggled to keep up with the surge in cryptocurrency interest last year. Problems have persisted. Some 1,500 complaints have been filed by customers on the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau website since the start of 2018 over slow trading times, delays in processing transactions, high fees, and other issues. Coinbase now has more than $200 million in funding from backers such as Andrew Horowitz and the New York Stock Exchange. Listen to that. Coinbase has $200 million in funding from backers such as the New York Stock Exchange. If they didn't believe in cryptocurrency, why would they be investing in Coinbase? Coinbase recognizes it needs, guys, hold Bitcoin. Hold Bitcoin. That's a clear sign to hold. Coinbase recognizes it needs to prove the service is reliable if it hopes to win over hedge funds or Wall Street elite. Adam White, president of Coinbase Institutional, a vision set up to oversee the Wall Street business. We realize that there's a very different set of expectations between institutions and individuals. We get one shot, one at first impression, and we need to make sure it's a good one. So let's watch Coinbase, guys. I think Coinbase will be really big. Coinbase is already really big. $20 billion in assets is huge. Not just the $20 billion in assets, but managing more than 20 million accounts. Crypto's already mainstream. We keep saying, oh, it's going to be mainstream. It's going to be mainstream. Coinbase is we keep waiting for this killer app in crypto. Like, what's going to be the killer app to bring everyone into crypto? It's already here. The killer app is Coinbase. Coinbase is the killer app that's going to bring everybody in crypto. Coinbase already has 20 million users. Already has 20 billion in reserves. Already has 200 million in investments from New York Wall Street. Coinbase is the killer app to bring everyone into crypto. Guys, thank you for following New Crypto Coin. Thank you for following our channel. Follow us on YouTube, Instagram, and Twitter. Let me know, what do you think? Is Coinbase the way that we're going to get everyone, the majority of America, into crypto? Let me know what you think. Comment below, guys. Thank you for your support. New Crypto Coin, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube.